So, candles. I guess most of us have seen candles used in church. Maybe you find them helpful in prayer. I wonder how you use them to resource your prayers. Well, I want to share two ways in which candles help to focus my prayers. One is that they remind me of God's presence. In those times where I'm perhaps feeling that God is distant or that there is a distance between God and myself, lighting a candle can remind me of the truth that actually, despite what I'm feeling, there is no distance, that God is always present with me, that there is nothing that can come between me and God's presence, despite how it feels. And the warmth and light of a candle flame can remind me of the truth of God's presence. So that's one way in which I find lighting candles helpful, kind of marking a time of prayer sometimes, lighting a candle, reminding myself that I'm in the presence of God, that what I'm doing as I pray, whether with words or silence or using some of the other objects we've been exploring, I'm in the presence of the God who made me, the God who loves me, the God who wants to work through me. Another way of using candles to pray is actually to light them as a prayer. As you pray for, as you hold before God situations of darkness, whether in the life of an individual or a community or a nation, even, where there is darkness, to light a candle as a prayer that God's kingdom would dawn in the midst of that situation, bringing life, bringing healing, bringing the possibility of new beginnings, lighting a candle in the midst of darkness to remind ourselves of how Christ himself stepped into the darkness of our world, and the darkness can never overcome the reality of his light. Lighting candles to pray that God's kingdom would come in the midst of darkness and evil. Lighting candles, then, a way of helping us to focus our prayers, to remind us of God's presence with us, and a way of praying for God's light to shine in darkness. I'd be interested to know how you find candles helpful in your prayer life. Well, I'm going to take a break over the next week, over the weekend rather. I'll be back with you on Monday. And next week, what are we doing? Oh, we're going to look at how we can use our bodies in prayer. So join me from Monday as we explore that. Have a good weekend.